we've got a couple different styles of traps, buoy setups, baits, and everything. The one thing that you and I were talking about earlier is why does it seem like the galvanized, unpainted, uncoated catches more? So what's your thought process on that compared to a black coated?
I don't know why the galvanized traps catch better than the black traps. I have had the black traps catch good when there's a lot of pinfish out, but it seems like every single time I throw this one out, if there's pinfish in the area, they're 100% going to go to this over the black trap. I like this style right here. It's got 4 openings for them to come into. Also with your traps, sometimes when you get them, these openings are really, really big. I like them when you pinch them down, and so they can squeeze through there, but it's hard for them to get back out of the trap. But yeah, to answer your question, I really honestly don't know why.
All right, so to me, the galvanized is more camouflage in the water. This is real bulky, and I feel like when you're in the water, this is going to stick out more to you than this. So that's what the fish are seeing as well. So they're not necessarily seeing they're going into a trap. They're seeing the bait that's in the middle of this, where this, it looks like they're going into something.
Sure.
I like this style of trap too. Now, Florida Pinfish Traps puts out a product that's like this, where it has 4 entrances, but it's on the corners, and it's a lot bigger.
Yes.
That's my preferred trap. But we all know the worst part about putting traps out is they get stolen.
100%.
So that's why we're also going to talk about the different style buoys. This one, we have an incognito buoy, really meant to get put up against the mangroves or, somewhere that where it's at, because it's harder to see. We're putting it out in the open water, but we're going to put GPS marks on it. So that's one style. And then you got your obvious style. Easy to find, but easier for other people to find too. That's why we put it on our least favorite trap. And then show them that one, Zach.
And then this is, you've got about 4 feet, 3.5, 4 feet of rope going up to a buoy here. And this trap, the weight is actually going to sink this down underwater. And so this is a trap that you're 100% going to want to mark with your GPS, get over in there, and then you're going to see this floating just below the surface. And so it's when people are running by, if you've got an area that people constantly keep stealing your traps, this is going to be the method you're going to want to use, because this is actually going to be underwater, and so you can't see it from the surface. And that's what a lot of us use out here, just because we have so many people that steal our stuff.
Yeah.
This is my preferred method here.
In reality, it's probably less expensive to buy pinfish, but for us, we want a guarantee of having our pinfish when we need it. So that's why we put traps out. But I don't know about you, whenever I get a chance, if the bait shop has pinfish or Miss Bonnie has pinfish, I get them from her, because again, you're guaranteed to have them. And then you're not surprised when you get out here and your trap is empty, or you've had it before where someone's left money in your traps, right?
Yeah, it's kind of nice, but it also sucks because
the pinfish is more important.
Exactly.
So, all right, so those are the traps. Now let's talk bait. Your traditional bait is threadfin herring.
And how I use these is I will take, I'd say maybe 6 to 8 to 10 of them, throw them just in the trap. I'm actually not putting them in that little bait box inside there. I just throw them in there, and 4 or 5 of them, I'll just break them in half when they're frozen, and then you can just throw them in there, and they'll come in. And I found they actually come in the trap better when you just throw them in there versus putting them in that little box in the bottom. We're going to be trying out these chum pucks by Fish Bites, and I honestly don't know how if we should just put them in that trap that's in there, or just throw them in the trap itself.
Yeah, I mean, we tested them out in the canal, and they don't break down like we thought they were going to do. So they put off like an oil. They have that glitter, that biodegradable glitter that's in there. All this is biodegradable. So I'm excited to try this. I feel like this is going to be the ticket. But a lot of people ask, why is threadfin or sardines better than using mullet? Mullet works, but it doesn't break down like this stuff. This stuff, eventually, after a day or two, it's gone completely.
And these fish have a lot of oil in them.
Yes.
And so you can get one that's completely thawed out, break it, and put it in the water, and you actually see the oil coming out of the surface.
Okay, buddy. Well, be careful where you step then.
One more thing about the fish bites chum puck is if this works, this is going to be a lot nicer to keep on your boat than the herring. This herring, you've got to keep it cool. And for us, you know, you're putting this in a cooler and you've got to take it out within about a day or two, or this is going to really start stinking. These chum pucks, I mean, you could honestly just leave this down in one of your hatches, you know, get 2 or 3 bags of these things and pull them out as needed, and you can leave them in there and they're not going to rot or anything like that.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
You definitely want to leave it in a drier, shaded spot in your boat. I'm really excited. I say we do 1 trap with just herring, 1 trap with just these fish bite chum blocks, and then 1 trap half and half.
Yep, that sounds great.
What do you think?
Yeah.
All right. Now, how many do you prefer putting in a trap?
I'd put at least 8 in there.
All right. That's 5.
And then you're just gonna break. They're really easy to break, guys. Just snap them right in half.
7.
7 will do it.
7? All right.
Yeah.
On it there. All right, so now let's do, I tell you what, to make it fair, we'll do this one half and half, and then we'll put the other just chum blocks in the black one.
Perfect.
All right, so let's do,
Daddy, is that yours?
yeah, but it's ours. So we'll do 1 little chum piece.
Can you put it in?
You want to put it in?
Is it sticky?
Have you smelt this stuff yet?
Yeah, so it's just like cat food. And I've heard people using cat food in traps before too,
Yeah,
so
poke some holes in the can and
see how it goes.
smell it, buddy. What does it smell like?
Smell like cat food.
Yeah, it smells like cat food. All right, and then we're gonna put a couple pieces of these in there.
Leave it in there. Don't break it. Just leave it in.
Make a sandwich.
Sardine sandwich.
I'll put it in there.
All right, I'll let you put it in there.
Break it in half, Brody, and put it in there. Use those muscles. There we go. Here you go, Brody. Let me help you. There we go.
All right, so that's 4 herring, 1 chum block, chum puck, whatever you want to call it.
Let me put it in there. Where do you put it in there?
Yeah, I want you to throw this one over here, buddy.
There we go.
Good job. Look at all the glitter come up. That's cool. All right.
And then this one, we're just putting the puck in, correct?
Yep, let's just put the puck in this one.
Let me put it in.
Okay.
The whole thing?
Yep, whole thing. Don't break it. Just let it just sit just like that.
Dad, let me break it.
No, throw it in there.
There we go.
Dad, where's the fish did you get in?
Well, this one we're not going to put any fish in. We're going to test it out with just the chum puck. Can you throw this one off the front of the boat? Oop.
Let me put it in there.
All right, there you go.
Let me put it in there.
Good. Good job. Do it. Do it. Perfect.
So we're on a really low tide out here right now, guys, so that's why you see that buoy floating. But when that tide comes up, the buoy's just going to submerge underwater.
Yeah. Yeah, really you just want it at a level that you can pick it up with a gaff.
Yep.
You know, we're not leaning way over, going to fall in the water. So
Exactly.
that's set up just how we want it there. All right, so we just pulled up the 3 traps that we baited yesterday. So that one, I'll have to go back and look at the archives, which that one was. Do you see anything in it? Any bait or anything?
No remains.
No remains? What would you say, a dozen?
Yeah, about a dozen, 15 maybe.
All right. I think that was the sardines, but I cannot remember. I know the silver one was half and half.
Right, that was nice.
Yeah, that one did pretty good for overnight. Wow.
He does the most.
All right, so that kind of proves our theory about galvanized compared to black.
That would produce a lot of bait.
And it's a lot smaller too. All right, guys. Well,
I wasn't there to pull the trap, so that's the first time I've seen it. That's a lot of bait.
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
for 12
3
hours.
traps, that's a lot of bait.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're tiny. I mean, this. So it proved our what we talked about is galvanized over black, or any sort of color, or you know,
Yeah.
that's the most camouflage, incognito. So, guys, if you go to buy a bait trap, obviously based off of that video and our testing, go with galvanized.
100%.
But here's my theory on why that one collected so many, which I've used this one for a long time and I've never gotten that amount out of that. It's smaller, you don't catch a lot. That one was loaded and it had all those pigfish in it too. That was the one that we only did, what was it, 4 herring?
Yeah.
4 herring plus a fish bites puck.
Yep.
So my theory is the puck attracts the fish and the herring traps the
And
fish.
I think we should revisit this in the near future with all the same traps.
Yes.
100%. And then one just with a herring, one just with the fish puck.
I agree.
Yeah, we'll have to do it when I'm, especially when I'm grouper fishing.
Yeah.
There's bait everywhere, like a lot, especially up there where we put our traps. If we
Oh,
put 3 in a line,
I still can't believe
Same
though that
bottom.
one puck and only 4 herring. I
It's
mean,
a lot
this
of
thing's half
bait.
full. It was pretty cool.
That was cool. So